Go ahead and come to any position you'd like. We're going to close the eyes and bring the palms to face the ceiling. And as you breathe, we're going to start breathing into the chest. So take a few deep breaths, collect any gunk, get some oils out, and then begin to come to your 4-part breath in the upper chest. As we inhale, instead of drawing up with the breath from below, like we've been grounding a lot lately, let's draw in from the outside. Imagine the air traveling from above you into your nose, into your heart center. And as you exhale, maybe slightly tilt the chin upward. Automatically notice what muscles are clenching. Go through your normal scans, backs of the knees and the thighs, toes, and the muscles in the face. Allow the corners of the eyes to feel light and lifted, and we'll take one more deep breath, breathing into the front from above. And then exhale, gently tuck the chin and roll the shoulders forward, ever so slightly. If the belly's soft, re-engage it here. And begin to take the breath into the upper back. Same energetic vibe with this. It's coming in from up above as we feel the back expand upward. And as we exhale, we'll keep those shoulders rolled forward. But imagine that air is escaping through the back of the neck, up into our world. Today during practice, as we move and take shapes and breathe, instead of coming inward during those moments from the pose or the shape where your mind can feel really good, you expand that energy outward. We'll take 2 more breaths into the upper back. As you exhale, bring your shoulders and your head back to center. Let's inhale, sweep the arms up. Go ahead and softly blink the eyes open. And then exhale, we'll sweep our hands behind us, fingertips point back, and then come into a little back bend. Deep inhale. Try to press the heels of the palms and the tips of the pinkies in the earth. And then as you exhale, we'll walk the fingertips forward. Take an inhale into the neck. Exhale, walk the fingertips back. Inhale into the throat and the heart. Exhale, bring it forward, and take that 2 more times at your own pace. Once you're cycled, we'll land in center with our hands open. Go ahead and find a drishti on the earth, and then come to your energetic center here. So whenever we find a drishti with the eyes open, we're usually super focused on balancing. But here, can you incorporate all the benefits and the focus of the balance with the eyes open? In stillness. Feel your strength building up from your root. Let's inhale, we'll lift the arms up. And then exhale, begin to crawl forward, setting up for a nice wide-legged tabletop pose today. So knees are really wide, feet are really wide. Hands can be beneath the shoulder blades, bellies in. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, gentle twist towards the right. Try to keep the lines of the back flat. Inhale back through center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, come back into center. Exhale to the right and hold. We'll bring our weight into the right arm. Here's an option. If you'd like, you can inhale, begin to lift the left arm, tuck the chin, and take a twist to the left with this linear line to the right. One more deep breath. Exhale, come back through center, begin to thread the needle. We'll come down onto the temple. And your choice, you can tap the fingers, lift the right arm up, or wrap it behind you. Just 2 breaths here. This time, feel the tailbone rise towards the sky. Next breath, we'll reach that right arm up, lower it down. Take one deep inhale, open it back up to the left. And then exhale, come back to center. Circle through cat-cow pose. On your next inhale, lengthen with a flat back, pulling the belly up towards the back of the spine. Exhale, gaze to the left, wrapping the left lungs and the left ribs forward and around. Chin stays tucked. Option to gently lift that right arm open, tucking the chin, maybe gazing towards the right. One more deep breath. Exhale, begin to thread the needle, lower the right temple, and again, instead of just focusing on grounding here, inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale, take whatever bind you'd like with the arm, and take 2 breaths, focusing on feeling the rise up and out of the earth. This time the tailbone is lifting with the expansion of the diaphragm. Left arm reaches up. Go ahead and plant it down. We'll sweep this right arm up and open. Plant the palm. Good job. And then take a look at the knees. If you'd like, you can bring the feet a little bit wider, maybe the knees a little wider, but we're going to adjust so that the heels are behind the knees. And then begin to walk forward, coming into a Sphinx pose, keeping your hips above the knees. So we're starting to work into the hips. You can drop the head and begin to wiggle the hips left and right here. It'll be a little movement. A little horizontal vibe from the left and the right. You may feel the tailbone move, that's okay. Can you feel the moment that the inner thigh almost disattaches from the side of the hip socket, and then as you sway back, detach it. You can rest the hips here, and then option to lower all the way down, expanding the arms, and resting the forehead on the earth. Let tailbone rise with the next breath. Exhale, let it go. We'll begin to walk our hands back up, bring them underneath the shoulders, come to the toes behind you. You can bring the toes closer together. Inhale, lift the knees. Take 1 breath cycle here. And then exhale, press up and back, downward facing dog pose. Any movement, any opportunity to feel good is surely here. But remember, today we're going to look at expanding that goodness inside of us that we've already been practicing how to dig for, how to find, how to pull out, and sending it outward. So where in this down dog, stillness or movement, can you expand upward? Press your middle fingers into the earth. Take an inhale to lift the heels up. Stay risen as you exhale. Feel the belly coming in, supporting you. One more inhale. Gaze forward and walk to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Go ahead and grab opposite elbows. You can sway here. Rock the neck. We'll take one more breath. And then slowly begin to roll all the way up to extended mountain pose. Arms rise. Hips press forward gently. Notice the weight in the feet. Spread the toes out. Even out your feet. Find your buoyancy in the knees. As you exhale, we'll release our hands. Come into true mountain. And then gently interlace the fingertips and the low back. Good. Feel free to close the eyes here. We're going to move through the shoulders, but keep the knees nice and buoyant. So as we inhale, we're going to reach the fists back, lift the chin up. And then as we exhale, lower the chin and allow the fists to rise a little bit. Inhale, fists come down. We're pulling the fingertips towards the back of our mat as we lift the chin. Exhale, lower the chin, let the fists rise. Maybe bend the elbows a little bit to get deeper into the shoulder tissue. One more cycle. Exhale to come down. We're not going to end evenly, so take one deep inhale to lift that chin. Reach the fists towards the back of your mat on a diagonal. Deep breath into the throat. Exhale, gently release the fingertips with the eyes open. Nice job. Deep inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. You can make little tiptoes with the fingertips here, and then slowly walk back to tabletop position. Take your time. Our backs are not really warmed up yet, so you can speed through it if you feel good, but take your time if you need some more time. Shoulder blades together, belly in. Walk the hands one print forward. Elbows cycle to point towards the thighs. Inhale, lift the feet, press forward, bring the chin over the tips of the fingers into a plank on the knees. And then exhale, slowly come down to your belly. Release your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift the chin into cobra pose. Pull the shoulders back. Exhale, come down. This time, before we go back up, I want you to think about the crown of your head. Imagine there's a little piece of string on it, and as you rise, it's pulling you on a diagonal towards the corner of the wall across from you. Inhale, lift back up to cobra. Bring those shoulders and elbows toward one another, and then lengthen up and out of your tailbone by pressing into the heels of your palms. One more breath. That string is pulling. Exhale, lower down. Tops of the feet come to the earth. Inhale, press up to table or high plank. And then roll up and back, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. We're going to start to go into a flow. Feel free to move at your own pace. Skip a chaturanga. Or go right into child's pose at any time. But let every movement be an expansion, either energetically or physically. Together, we'll take a deep breath. Let it go. Right leg gently lifts. Take the toes up to a comfortable height. Bend the knees, step that right foot forward, come to warrior one, right side. Inhale, arms lift, shoulders drop, and right away, feel the back of the neck running taller. One more deep breath. As you exhale, bring the fingertips down. We'll softly lower that left knee, coming into a low lunge. Bring the right hand to the right side of the right foot. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, bring the fingertips and the head back. Take one breath here. Try to reach the heart up. And then exhale, come forward, plant the palms. We'll step up off the left knee and step it forward to the top of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Think about the shoulders rising here. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, extended mountain. If you want more, come to tippy toes. And then fold. Plant the palms, step back to plank or tabletop position. Take one inhale. Imagine the hips are being held up nice and high. And then cycle all the way down to your mat. Tops of the feet come down. Deep breath in, cobra or king cobra. Pour it down gently. Toes come back to the earth. Inhale, press up to plank or tabletop. And then exhale, downward dog. 2 breaths here. This time, press your ring finger into the earth. Let that cycle up the tricep, lifting you from the sides. Very softly on your inhale, we'll reach and paint that left leg up to a comfortable height. Exhale, step the left foot forward, warrior one other side. Rise up. Our warriors are grounded, but right here, gaze up for the next 2 breaths and maybe rock the wrists. Expand that upward. And then exhale, sway the cycle down. Nice and soft, fingertips come down. We'll bring the right knee down, framing that left foot. Inhale, raise the arms into your low lunge. Exhale, reach up and back. Take 1 breath cycle here. On your next inhale, come back up through center, and then sweep the fingertips down. We'll come off that right knee, step forward, forward fold. Halfway lift. Shoulders are high. Core out. Root to rise, maybe come to the tippy toes. And then let it go, forward fold. Your choice to cycle through a chaturanga or step back into down dog, but we'll all meet there. We tend to look inward a lot on days like this. Think about the many months of practice that you've had, the many hours that you've devoted to inward work, and today is the perfect opportunity to be that outward force of sunshine. Inhale, right leg lifts. Reach it a little bit higher back this time. Reach for the stars. As you exhale, step forward, warrior one. Come up, rise. Take a breath. Exhale, cycle down. Pivot the left toes forward and lower the left knee down. Inhale, low lunge, rising up. Exhale, dive back. This time, let that right knee come forward a little bit more. 1 more cycle of breath. Exhale, rotate down, plant the fingertips, step the left foot up to meet the right. Paint yourself tall and long, half lift. Let it go. Root to rise, bring the rib cage with you as you rise. Maybe tippy toes. Corridor. Plant the fingertips. Step back to tabletop or high plank. Want to inhale here. Take your chaturanga, focusing on that up dog, coming from the hips and up. And then knee back into downward dog. This time in your down dog, take 2 breaths, moving the body in any way that would feel good. It wiggles out, not because of tightness, but because of joy. And as you're ready, left leg rises up. We'll take a breath here, pressing into the heel of the palm. Expand that left side of the body. And then step it forward, warrior 1. As you rise and land, we take 1 breath, bringing the rib cage up, out of the center of the feet. Exhale, pour it down, frame the front foot, lower that right knee, open up and rise into crescent. Exhale, reach back, left knee comes forward, stretching that right hip flexor. 1 more breath. And then rotate it down. We'll step the right foot up to meet the left. Forward fold. Let's take 1 deep breath here. Let's take it as a lion's breath. Inhaling through the nose, filling all the way up. Take another sip of air. Open the mouth, stick the tongue out, and let it go. Halfway lift. Fold. Root to rise, come to mountain pose. Hands come into heart center and drop to our sides. Key back into this idea of expansion here. Where can you find expansion today? We're going to bring the weight into the left foot and gently set up for tree pose on the right side. I want everybody's trees to wobble this morning, all right? So as you come into your tree, no pretty trees, just interesting trees. And if you're that good that you don't wobble, then add to it. If you can play with lifting the gaze up, that can be a joyous exploration of the power of our focus. We'll take 1 more breath. Do something a little bit crazier, a little bit sillier. And then exhale, release. We'll plant that right foot. Focus back in, hands to heart center. Lift the left thigh up. And then step it back, coming into high lunge. Arms reach up, belly's tall, knees at a 90-degree angle. Release the arms down behind you, interlace the fingers. Inhale, lift the heart, reach the fists back. And then exhale, pivot forward, begin to come into a humble lunge. This is tough. If you wobble, that's good. As you come to your humble lunge, let the back of the neck go. Reach those fists up a little bit more. 1 more inhale, pull the belly in. Exhale, release the fingertips. We're going to plant the left palm under its shoulder and then sweep open to the right. And relax here. As every muscle is working, right? Relax. Chin's tucked. Let that right arm come down and just drop behind you a moment. Soften your gaze and soften your neck. Pull the belly in. Open the shoulder a little bit more. And then on your next inhale, reach the right arm back up. Exhale, lower the right hand down. Lower the knee. Inhale, come up. We're going to straighten the right leg in front of us. And then you can lower the arms, bring the right foot towards the center line. So it's going to be a little bit on a diagonal. Let's bring our hands to our hips. We're going to lift the left arm up And then begin to tilt and kind of ninja chop across that leg. Take your time. You can land on the outer calf, the outer ankle, maybe relax your ninja chop shape and bring it to the earth. And then just gently bring the gaze over to the right. If you feel good, you can expand the right arm open, reach it behind you, or you can even lower the right arm towards that left hand to help balance here. This is tricky. Come back to center with the gaze. Walk the left hand over. We're going to bend that right knee and then walk into a half pigeon pose. Very short. Few options. You can do dolphin dives, which is my new pose that I made up, or come right into pigeon. But we'll all take this for 5 breaths. Slowly roll back up. Take your time. We're going to let the right hip come down and then sweep the left leg nice and long. You need to grab a drink. We're close to our beverages here. Some of us. Shayla, you gotta crawl a little bit. So instead of going down into a side forward fold, I promise you guys are all super flexible and have a solid practice. Our legs will warm up throughout the day, right? Let's take this right shoulder. Let's gently gaze to our right and open up the right shoulder. If you're having trouble with that, I like to use my elbow, kind of like a cannon first. So, chin is tucked, we're gazing toward the right. Expand the left arm up, and then just begin to take a side bend to the left. Doesn't matter where you land. If you want, you can reach the right arm over the right ear. Relax any tension in the left side body, and it does not matter how low you go towards that left foot. What matters here is how open you are in the right upper body. And then breathe here and feel the breath gliding over each rib on the right side. On your next inhale, rise all the way up with the arms, gaze up. As you exhale, let the shoulders drop, pinch the low ribs together, and then inhale, can you grow a little bit taller? Can you press your feet and your glutes into the earth? And then release, come forward, we'll plant the hands, sweep that left foot back, come into your table, cycle through cat-cow, and we'll all meet back in downward dog. In your down dog, press the tips of your pinkies and your thumb into your mat. And you allow the sit bones to open up here. If you're not sure what that means, or it's like, what the heck? Let your entire tailbone come up and let the center of the outer thighs gently pull in. Gaze forward, hop, walk, jump, skip to the top of your mat. Roll up into extended mountain. Come to the tippy toes. Exhale, land on your drishti. And bring yourself to tree pose, this time on the other side. Left foot rises. Take your time getting there. And once you do, sway, take a little dance, move, whatever you want to call it. Begin to bring your gaze up as you move. Take one more breath, and then exhale to release. We'll lower that left foot, sweep the arms down, inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart center, left foot grounds down. And inhale to lift that right knee. Exhale, step it all the way back. Press or tall lunge, arms lift. Exhale, release the arms down. This time, instead of interlacing the fingers, we've done that quite a few times. You can bring the hands to the back pockets. You can grab opposite elbows. You can just bring the hands to the back. Anything that's different for you here. And then inhale to lift the chin. And then exhale, come into a humble lunge. Gently lift the lower back up here by engaging the core. We'll take 2 more breaths. On your next release, release the arms and your bind, arms out to the side, pull the belly in. Right palm comes down. Inhale, open up to the left. Exhale, option to let that left arm just cycle behind you. Chin is tucked, jaw. We'll take 1 more breath. Expand the arm if you've dropped it. And then slowly come back to center. We'll lower that right knee. Come all the way up into low lunge. Straighten the left leg. Left hand comes to the hip. Chin is tucked. And then reach forward, drawing across the left calf, ankle. Coming into this little ninja slashing stretch. I think one day you guys are going to make up names for these new poses, right? Release your left hand, and you can let it come to the right, like next to the right hand. You can gently tuck the chin and gaze to the left. Another option is going to be to open up the left. Raising that left arm, keeping the chin tucked. A lot of balance here, so if you are falling out, no sense in shaming. I don't know if we can hold this pose for too long. 1 more deep breath. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, rise back up. And then draw yourself down, setting up for your pigeon pose on this side, bending the left knee, lengthening out. Whatever you did on the other side, take it here, 5 breaths. Coming down or cycling through the dolphin pigeon, swimming with each breath. Once you finish your cycle, rise up for 1 deep inhale. Lift the chin. And then exhale, let that left hip come down. We'll sweep the right out to the side. Go ahead, open up the left shoulder. Right arm can come up a little bit, and then just begin to take a side bend to the right. Let that right ear come down, right chin stays tucked. Does not matter how low you go towards the right leg. But as you breathe, feel the air glide up and down each of your left ribs. With your next inhale, we'll come back up to center. And then as you exhale, extend the left leg long in front of you. We're going to take a few breaths to work on. I don't think Michael's coming in today, so sorry if that's a distraction, but I don't think he's coming. We're going to take the arms and the palms, place them next to the hips. If you have wider hips, or let me rephrase that, if you have normal hips, most of us are a little bit wider, we'll take our thumbs and just bring them underneath the cushion on our bottom, so that the middle finger and the palm is beneath the line of the shoulder. And come to a full staff pose here. And we're really going to work on this staff for a few reps. So we'll start at the core and at the sit bones. You may feel as if you're gently leaning forward. Find that low, low, low belly. That lovely little place right above the pelvis. If you're having trouble pulling it in, try tucking the chin and drawing the shoulders forward and pulling it in on an in-breath here. And come back to your staff. Belly's engaged. See if you can draw the sides of the rib cage toward one another. And then on your next inhale, imagine you're lifting the ribs up. Find that long line on the back, let that travel up the back of the neck, and slowly let the shoulders drop. Relax the jaw, realign your chin, and then softly begin to bring your pinky toes towards your shoulders. Release your hands and let them rest face up. Take one more breath with all of these muscles engaged. And now as you exhale, relax your feet, your knees, your glutes, the low part of the belly, and raise your gaze just to the height of the horizon. Find enough softness here where you don't feel like you're working too hard, but enough engagement where you feel tall. This is your posture. This is your asana. This is where you can send out the best of yourself for the best in others. This is where my outer thighs start to hurt. So as you're ready, we'll begin to come into a low pose. Bring the knees in, fingertips to the back of the thighs, shoulders back. We're going to play with some high bow here. We'll start with opposite legs. So right leg reaches long, and then bring the left hand up. Allow that right shoulder to draw back to support you, and come back to center. If the low back is hurting here, it's because we're untucking the tailbone, using our chest to help us hold this. So common is to go like this to help you, but it's just doing a disservice. It's going to hurt the low back. So keep that core in and the back long. We'll do the other side. Left leg rises, right arm reaches up. And then switch sides. Exhale to switch. 2 more times. Think tall. Think long, think expansion. Good job. Last cycle. Nice job. Woo. And then slowly hug the knees in toward the chest. Tuck the chin a lot. Feet can come down here. Give yourself a really big, tight hug. Maybe wrap all of the arms around you. Squeeze deeply on your next inhale. And then exhale, lower down. Reach out feet wide. Beautiful. We're going to go ahead and bend the right knee, coming into tree pose as we leg. Bring your gaze over to the left, and then just let your right fingertips relax on the inside edge of the right thigh. Bring the right fingertips to the outside edge of the right thigh, and use the fingertips to guide the knee up and over into a supine twist. Bring your left hand to the outer right thigh, and then the gaze goes towards the right. Take 2 breaths here. Come back to center, and then expand nice and long and wide again. And come to tree pose on the other side. We'll bring the left fingertips to the inside of that left thigh. Bring the gaze over to the right. Gently press that right shoulder down as you press the outside of the left knee down. Feel that cross opening on the entire back side body. And then we'll bring the left fingertips to the outside of the left thigh. Let that graze the thigh up and over. We're still gazing to the right. Then expand the left arm open to the left. You can pull the right shoulder out from under you and gaze to the left side. Supine twist here, 3 breaths. Come back to center, really open up nice and wide. And then begin to set up for a bridge pose. I'm going to bring around some yoga wheels. If you'd like to try your bridge on a yoga wheel, you may. I'll come around and assist. If you're not interested, that's okay. If you want to work on wheel pose, I can assist with that as well. So as you land in your bridge, we have an opportunity here for a few moments of bridge play, wheel play, or yoga wheel play. So you guys are all very knowledgeable yogis. Don't wait for me to cue. I want you to expand in a way that feels good for you today. If you are playing with the yoga wheel, you may want to sit up and bring the yoga wheel behind you and use your hands to help get over and on top of your yoga wheel. If you feel really strong this morning and you want to enter into it in a different way, go for it. And then a few options will be to play with the yoga wheel by rolling over the back. What would feel really good for you, Taylor, is to set up for wheel pose here, and then roll and play on your back. If you're using your yoga wheel and you want to take a wheel pose, your yoga wheel is not going to run away from you. It will still be there. So you're more than welcome to play. Just be aware that it'll still be there when you come down. And I'm here, so if it does shift forward or back, I can move it slightly. Here's a section there, Taylor. Really nice job. If you feel good, Taylor, bring your toes forward. Nice. And if you feel really good, come up off the heels. I love that opening in the thighs. Beautiful. We'll have about 5 more breaths. As you prepare to come down, use one of your hands to find the location of the wheel on the earth. Widen your feet nice and wide. And then use the other hand to find the earth. Tuck the chin and bring some of the weight into the elbow and the forearm. And then lift your head slightly to remove your wheel. Or just come forward and let him scoot behind you. We're going to come back into laying. Take a big, wide stretch here before you go into your Shavasana. So really breathe, open up the arms. I'm going to come around with a little bit of aromatherapy, something bright, creative today. If you don't want any, just bring a hand to the belly. It's called Creative Juice. It's bergamot and cardamom, probably with a few other scents. Is there anything that you're allergic to?
No, I don't love lavender.
That's impossible. I'll get you some.
That doesn't have lavender in it.
No, that's not today.
That's right.
No lavender on a rainy day. We'll get in trouble. Don't call me saying you called off from work. But today, as I put the aromatherapy in the palm, take a moment to rub the palms together. Get a lot of heat and a lot of energy between the palms. And then just hold the hands up above your heart center, your throat, and take a few minutes to experience that energy flowing through you. Hopefully bring your fingertips just to rest on your temples. You can rest your arms and your hands down. Just let the fingertips glide over the temples and take an opening breath through the mouth. The stars of the night inspire you. And then you write poetry and inspire others. This time others create new things with the inspiration that they get from you. You see, thousands of beauty are created from simple inspiration. Soften your eyelids and take a few breaths here, just acknowledging all that you have to offer the world, not through work, not through effort, but just through being you and letting yourself show and shine. And then take a nice soft breath and slowly make your way to sit. We're going to sit in a low hero's pose. So shins are on the earth, knees can be open or closed. Tops of the feet are on the earth. Bring your arms out to a T with the palms up. Elbows can be soft and shoulders are back. Take a few breaths, finding that ease, that high seat. You can stay here or on your inhale, lift up to a high hero, bringing the arms up into a big V. Take a deep breath, lifting the chin. And then exhale, we'll bring our hands to heart center. Thank you guys for being a part of my practice. I'm truly grateful. Namaste.